Right, so Ben is finishing off the previous wine that we've done a tasting for. He's drinking champagne, and I'm gonna...
For comedic purposes. Well, I've actually tasted this wine, so I can just talk about it without having a glass in my hand.
So, Andre Dezat was a
story.
producer, and now the people who own the company, the two, I think they're cousins, they have decided very amicably to divvy up their estate. So this, for the first vintage, 2021, I don't think we've got any old bottles left.
Oh well.
This is Dezat, Frere et... How do you pronounce that?
Frere et Soeur. So basically,
Yeah.
it used to be André Dezat. Many French customers who come in here will immediately recognise the André Dezat label because he's a staple of Sancerre.
And this is very similar.
This is incredibly similar. So this is Alnoë Stéphanie, who are brother and sister, I'm assuming grandsons of André. And then I think another cousin has got the other half. But apparently,
which we will be bringing in
really?
when it's available.
Oh, good. And apparently it was an amicable split, which is a rarity in French wine circles. Usually, they're hacking
hate each other and divvying up grandmother.
Yeah, usually the grandmother gets hacked to death or something. But this is a great wine. I don't know anything about the 2021 vintage, but basically the great thing about Dezat is it is unapologetically green and mineral.
Yes.
It's not about the fruit. It's traditional chalky Sancerre. We've got Blanc, for example, and Frere. Blanc is from Bouet, which is a slightly hotter village behind the river. And Frere is a sort of like silkier, more sort of pineapple-y style. Dezat is very traditional. It's not about the fruit. You get fruit, but it's very mineral, very green.
And this is his pea shoots.
Unapologetically so. And exactly, pea shoots. It's not quite green bell pepper.
No,
it's pea shoots.
It's pea shoots. It's got that freshness, that slight sweetness that you get from really young peas. And then there is that sort of almost like sandstony, sort of wet sandstone thing going on.
Yeah, chalky. I will say
does have this vintage, and this is my first 21 I think that I've tried. It does have a little bit more of a sort of perfumey fruit than I was expecting.
Well, I think that 21 I think it was pretty difficult for a lot of people. I think they were lighting fires to prevent frost in the Rhone. So I think it was overall quite difficult, quite cool. It's not fruit forward. It's very traditional Sancerre. However, it doesn't quite have the texture and depth. It's almost sort of Marlborough Max, the profile.
It's sort of like,
it's a little bit
imagine
it's just a little bit new worldy for my liking.
It's got a little bit more fruit to it, I think, than I was expecting it to have. It's got
well,
that
no, it's
slight.
It's not so much fruit though. It
is a tropical sort of. It's fruit
green,
pith. It's
the
sort
green tropical.
Yeah, it's sort of things like guava but underripe tropical fruit. That's what's there.
But it doesn't have the crunchy clotted cream chalk, which it usually has, and that comes from more heat. Like Sancerre, I have such an unhealthy, toxic relationship with Sauvignon Blanc. It's not even funny. I bought a case of Sancerre before I bought a case of white Burgundy. Yeah. Marlborough, I would genocide that in a heartbeat. So I have such a love-hate, but Sancerre always.
I think with this, though, it does have all of those things that you want. It's just that fruitiness is masking them. Because once you've got over that...
But fruit is just not a part of this for me. You get sweetness.
Yes.
But not necessarily fruit.
But I think once that initial hump is over... What you actually have is you've got everything you want from a classical Sancerre there. It's just there's this little masking at the start. We're picky. We're being hypercritical about this. The reality of it is it's a lovely wine. It's just we are being super duper picky, which is what our job is. It's a brilliant Sancerre. You will like it. I promise you. It's just that I think maybe the 21 vintage is just difficult.
Yeah. However, it doesn't look like...
You said flipping there, didn't you?
No, I said.
You said flipping there, didn't you?
I said perambulating.
Yes, I did.
I don't think that.
Fornicating.
I don't think that the handover at Dezat has engendered any slump in quality whatsoever.
Nope.
The standards are still just as high. Dezat is just wonderful because it's so traditional.
Yeah.
It is just. this is how Sancerre would have tasted 100 years ago, one would hope. Just no oak, chalky, textured, wonderful.
See you soon. Bye.